Good afternoon everybody, and a very warm welcome to Mildenhall and Districts. And today I've got a Digitrax video for you. It's more specifically on the function key buttons and to lock and unlock for function 2. It's been a bit of a talking point recently, and I'll explain it to you why shortly. But first I just wanted to touch upon a comment by Model Railway Shed Dino, who left me a comment on my last video about the quarry, and he was asking me about how I do the fascia board, and more specifically the fascia board and the skirt that's actually on the quarry, as opposed to what's around here now, because he was interested. So basically I use, this is actually a spare piece knocking around. This is actually on the corner on the back seam. This is actually a piece of hardboard, and I use this, and then obviously you can either use it, I usually get it in like 6x2 sheets or whatever, and then I cut it down to the size that I require, or contour it to the size that I want using the jigsaw. It's very easy to do with the jigsaw. I've also got a mini saw which is very easy to get through, and like I said, so basically that actual fascia board actually at the back of the quad was partially new hardboard, but it was also recycled hardboard from the back of the layout over there, which actually contained this. So it was actually some of the sections that were alongside it, and I recycled those bits. So, and then I gave it a couple of coats of paint, and there you go, job done. And it's very easy to manipulate. Like I said, obviously the bigger and the wider it is like this, the more rigid it is. But there is still some play in it. Don't worry, that's just snapped off, it's just come off. But obviously the narrower it is, and you know the longer it becomes quite, I mean, anyone who's handled hardboard knows that it is quite flexible, so you can bend it around. As for the skirt, I use this, and this is called polycotton fibre, and this is actually a spare offcut. You can buy this by the metre. I did originally buy it from my local fabric shop in Basingstoke, but that shop has since closed down, so I had to source it from elsewhere. So I actually got this from eBay, and it cost £6.50 per metre. I think it was £6.50 per metre, something like that. Yeah, I think it was £6.50 a metre, or £5 a metre, something like that. I actually think it was £6.50, and you buy it by metre, and you just tell them the quantity, and basically they don't give you like 1 metre, then 2 metres, and then 3 metres, then 4. They just give you one length of 5 metres if you need 5 metres, and then you cut it down accordingly. So I did get it off of eBay, so just look out for I think I put in like polycotton fibre per metre on the search for eBay, and I come up with this. You just look out for the colour that you need. Right, now on with the video. One of my big bugbears is standardisation, and it seems like certain companies, and there isn't a standard when it comes to decoders and functions and things like that, and there has been an issue and which has affected me, which is why I'm putting out this video, that on certain systems, they will use function 2 as a latching or non-latching key, or you can have both. And what that means is that function 2 key, you can either lock it or unlock it. And how it kind of affects me, I'll show you momentarily. But I really would wish that when they design these items, these locos, for example, that we need decoders for, that they keep certain functions standard to make it easy. So when you buy a decoder for it, you don't have to keep setting it up all the time. And I'll show you what I mean in a moment. So I'm going to take you through to my layout now, and I'm going to demonstrate one of my locos that I've had issues with. Now the reason why this is cropped up again is because I've just recently purchased a new loco. and I will show you that in the rolling stock update, which will probably be my next video. And that particular loco is actually affected in the same way, and I will show you that right now. So let me take you over to the layout. So here we are at the main layout, and I'm going to demonstrate this to you, some of the issues that I have, not with just this locomotive, but one or two others that I have. And this is because locomotives and decoders and designers aren't all synced together. And so what happens is, on most controllers, most of the keys are locking. In other words, when you press a button, it will stay on. So for example, we're on 6646, which is the address for this locomotive. So if I press 0, you got the headlight that comes on the top. Number 4 has got the main lights at the bottom there. Okay, and this locomotive and none of my patterns have got sound on them. And usually this is not really a problem because, like I said, with most locos, you press 1 and it's usually the sound, 0 is usually the lights, and 2 is usually the horn. However, this isn't always the case. My Batman 66, sorry, a couple of my Batman 66s and my Batman 158 use function 2 as brakes, which again is not really a problem on the F2, because basically what happens is on F2 it's a non-latching key, so you can just press the brake as much as you want and you can release it, and it's not normally a problem. But it is a problem if you put lighting features on F2, which I will demonstrate. So like I said, you've got 0 and 4, which are on, as you can see. If you take it off, and there you go, the lights have gone off, and the little digits on the top have also gone off. But watch what happens when I press F2, and they put lighting functions on F2. So as you can see, you've got 2 on there saying it's on, and you've got the tail lights on the 66. However, as soon as I release the button, the lights go out and the 2 goes off. And so when it's on, when you've got F2 as brakes, as a horn or a horn, it's not too bad, because you can sort of time it to however it suits you. So you can press the horn for as long as you want, or press the brakes for as long as you want. The problem is with the tail lights is you either want them on or you want them off. So you need to be able to have them locked either way. And as you can see, the screen's just gone out, but I'm going to show you on the Digitrax system how you go about changing it. Now I do also run engine driver on JMRI, and there isn't actually a setting which I'd have actually looked through the preferences on the engine driver JMRI to see if you can lock F2, but I haven't been able to find out yet. And as far as I can tell, you can't do it on JMRI engine driver unless somebody tells me different, because I've gone through every single option on JMRI engine driver and you can't seem to lock it through JMRI. You can't lock the F2 key. However, thankfully on the Digitrax system you can. So let me show you how you go about doing that. Now hopefully this sort of screen will come up really well. So if those of you have got a Digitrax system, especially if you've got a UT6, which is what this is a UT6, it's a digital controller with a nice digital screen, and also I've got a 602. Basically it's the same thing. Basically you go into your settings, which is just here, and it asks you for utility tasks, which is number 3. And then it asks you about which of these options do you want, and you go to the throttle option edit, which is number 3 on here. Hopefully you can see this. And then you scroll down and you can see like there's a little line there under the 1, and you can see actually it's actually gone to 11 already. So you want option 11 on here, and it says F2 static, and it says off. And at the bottom it says, under 7 it says change. You press F7, it's gone to on. So then if you go to X, you will exit that. So now what happens is if you press F2, the lights and the button will stay on. And that's how you do it on the DUT6. Here is my DT602, and it's pretty much the same. As you can see, I've already done it on this one. You press F2 and the lights are on. Hopefully that was, you can see the 2 on the screen there. Press it off and it comes off. So to do that, you go, just to show you, it's pretty much the same thing. And you go to number 3, utility tasks. And then you go to throttle option edit, which is number 3. And then you go down to number 11, which is all the way down here. You see the little line scrolling down. And then you see it says at the top there, F2 key static on or off, and it's currently on. And then you just switch that over as to suit. So that's how you lock it, F2, on the Digitrax system. So thank you for watching my short little video on my Digitrax. Like I said, if you need to find something else or about Digitrax system, if I can help you, I will try. I might do a few of these videos about it and just to show you how you change the address and stuff like that. The reason why I wanted to do this one particularly first is because it is quite an important feature to be able to know how to lock and unlock key number 2, so you can run your trains effectively, either with lights or without, particularly if you've got lighting on F2. It's not so important with lighting or with brakes, because if you press F2 and it stays on and it locks, the train will just eventually come to a stop and that'd be fine. It's not a problem. Horn, you can just press it and then you can just depress it. It's not a problem. But with lighting functions, you either want them on or you want them off, and you can't have this halfway house. So that's why it's quite important. So anyway, until the next video, it's goodbye from Mildenhall and Districts. Goodbye.